This is the HEZZO R1 electric dirt bike, also known as the Reroad R1, and I've been riding it hard on local fire roads, rocky single track, and a few quick street hops between trailheads. Key features on paper are big. An 8,000-watt peak mid-drive motor, claimed 52.8 miles per hour top speed, dual hydraulic disc brakes, full suspension, and 19-inch wheels. In my opinion, this bike sets the tone with out-of-the-box performance that most riders would normally chase with pricey upgrades. I had my doubts when I first dug into the listing because the branding is a bit confusing. You'll see HEZZO on the product page, Reroad R1 on the bike's model name, and the manual ties back to a manufacturer in Zhejiang. That made me nervous about warranty, parts, and long-term support. From my experience, the seller replied to my setup questions within a day, which helped, but the mixed labels still matter to me if I'm keeping it for years. I'll circle back to that. Let me talk look and feel. The frame is a beefy aluminum design with a clean, minimalist profile. The battery tucked into the main body so the weight sits low. That low center of gravity makes it feel planted in turns and calmer on chatter. The 19-inch wheels on knobby rubber give it a proper dirt stance. The front end uses inverted forks, the rear shock is adjustable, and both feel more serious than what I felt stock on many light e-motos. The levers and calipers don't scream premium brand, but once bedded in, they're strong. The cockpit is simple. A clear LCD that shows speed, battery, and mode, plus a straightforward switchgear. I'm 5'10", and the seat-to-peg-to-bar triangle works. I can move around the bike without cramped knees or odd wrist angles. The seat is more forgiving than I expected. It's not a sofa, but I can do an hour-plus session without getting restless. Out on the trail, the motor hits with instant torque. Mid-drive means the motor sits in the frame and drives through the bike's gearing instead of being in a wheel hub, so it climbs with authority. On my steep test hill that usually exposes weak bikes, I stayed in control and kept traction without feeling the front get too light. Power delivery is snappy but not jerky in sport. In eco, it's mellow and easy to ride at slower pace. I clocked a GPS-verified 54 miles per hour on flat pavement with some run-up, and the pull from 0-40 miles per hour is the fun zone, quick and clean. I didn't feel any throttle bog above 30 miles per hour on my unit. Heat was a non-issue for me. The motor got warm after long climbs in the sun, but never felt like it was pulling power back or complaining. Braking is solid. After a proper bed-in, I'm comfortable using one finger at the lever. Modulation is predictable, and on loose descents, I can get right to the edge of traction without the brakes feeling grabby. I did add a tiny lever reach tweak to match my hands. Suspension is a standout. Out of the box, it's genuinely plush on square edge hits, and it still has support when I push into berms or compressions. I set sag and added a touch of rebound damping on the rear shock. After that, the bike tracked straight over washboard and didn't kick me in rock gardens. If you're used to harsh stock forks from other light e-motos, this will feel like a better place to start. Let's talk battery and range in plain terms. The pack is 72 volts and 35 amp hours, which equals 2,520 watt-hours of energy. More watts out equals faster fun, but it also drains the tank quicker. I could not match the high 70-mile claim in real riding. On aggressive dirt with lots of climbs and plenty of throttle, I'm getting 28 to 33 miles before I hit the low battery warning. On mixed cruising and eco, rolling at 15 to 20 miles per hour and riding smooth, I've stretched into the high 40s and crossed 50 miles once, but it's a chill pace. Charging with the included fast charger took me around 4.5 hours from about 10% to full. The charger fan is audible, and the pack gets mildly warm, which is normal. If your plan is all-day exploring on one charge, manage your expectations, or plan a midday top-up, the build has been reliable for me. I went over bolts after the first few rides and a couple were a bit loose, so I added medium thread locker to the common spots. The chain needed the usual first-week retention and then settled in. The brakes squealed slightly until I bedded them properly. No weird electrical gremlins, no water intrusion after splashes, and a light drizzle, though I avoid hose pressure at the battery area. Weight-wise, it feels closer to the 140 to 150 pound range than the lighter listings you sometimes see. It's manageable to lift onto a stand, but it's not featherweight. Here are the points that won me over. From my experience, the performance is there right away. I didn't feel like I had to swap forks, brakes, or the shock just to make it rideable at speed. That's rare at this price tier. The motor torque is addictive for short blasts. The suspension soaks up abuse without harsh spikes, and the brakes give me confidence. The chassis feels sturdy, and the low-slung battery helps the bike carve rather than flop. The interface is simple enough for a newcomer. Modes make sense, the display is clear, and stopping the system is straightforward. In my opinion, comfort is better than average for the category. The seat and bar position let me stay relaxed. Now the sticking points. Range claims are optimistic if you ride it like a performance dirt bike. Be honest about your loops and speed. The branding shuffle, HEZZO name outside, re-road in the docks, creates confusion for parts and warranty. I wish there were a bigger, clearer parts pipeline and a larger owner community for quick answers. Some components look like off-brand clones even though they perform fine, and that might matter if you care about specific logos or long-term spares. The spec sheets around the internet aren't consistent, especially with claimed charge times and range. I measured what I measured so you don't have to guess. It's perfect for riders who want a turnkey, high-power, light electric dirt bike for short, intense sessions, backyard tracks, downhill shuttles, and quick commutes where you can charge at your destination. I've taken it to local trails after work, blasted for an hour, and left grinning, which is exactly what I hoped it would do. I'd recommend this for people who want strong stock suspension and real torque without spending a small fortune on upgrades right away. If you need huge range, a massive aftermarket, and a big forum community for every bolt-on, this might not be your pick. If you're new, respect the power. 8,000 watt peak means it will leap if you're sloppy with the throttle. In conclusion, the HEZZO R1 gives you serious speed, legit suspension, and confident brakes in a package that feels purpose-built for fun. The battery is big but not limitless. So plan your rides. The mixed branding and evolving spec sheets are real concerns, and I'm keeping an eye on parts availability long-term. Still, every time I suit up and hit the trail, I'm reminded why I wanted this thing. The ride quality and punch are there from the first pull, and that's what matters most to me. If this video helped, hit subscribe and drop your questions or your own range numbers in the comments. Thank you for watching.